So it's 2026, and one of the biggest questions for creators is still, how do you be everywhere at once? I mean, how do you actually stream to your audience on YouTube and TikTok at the same time without some crazy complicated setup? Well, today, we're going to break down exactly how to master multi-canvas streaming, and we're going to do it all from a single PC. Let's get right into it.
So, are you actually ready to reach your entire audience, no matter where they're hanging out? If you've ever felt like you're being forced to choose between your horizontal fans and your vertical fans, this is for you. We're going to show you the most streamlined way to connect with both without the usual headache.
You know, at its core, the problem has always been super simple, right? It's about how you manage two completely different screen shapes at the same time. You've got that wide 16:9 for your mainstream, and then the tall 9:16 for vertical. And for years, this meant all these clunky workarounds. But in 2026, the solution is so much cleaner.
Okay, so before we even touch the software, we have to talk about the foundation, your hardware. Getting this part right is absolutely crucial. It's non-negotiable if you want a smooth, lag-free stream for both you and your viewers. So let's break down the essentials.
You've got to remember, your PC is essentially running two streams at once. So a powerful CPU, something like a Ryzen 7 or a Core i7, is key for all that multitasking. For the GPU, an NVIDIA RTX 4070 or better is a must. And not just for gaming, it's for its NVENC encoder. Just think of it as this little dedicated chip that handles all the streaming work, so your game performance doesn't take a hit. 32 gigs of RAM makes sure everything runs like butter, and of course, a stable, wired internet connection with at least 20 megs per second upload is a must-have.
All right, once your rig is all set, it's time for the software. Now look, there are a few ways you could tackle this, but for a true quick start in 2026, we're going to focus on the tool that was literally built for this purpose, Meld Studio. It really is the all-in-one solution. So why are we focusing just on Meld? Well, the answer is simple, really. It was designed for exactly this problem. Instead of you having to juggle plugins and complicated workarounds, its main feature is multi-canvas. It's not some add-on, it's the core of the software, and that makes the entire process incredibly straightforward. Okay, this is where the magic happens. Inside Meld, you've got your two canvases sitting right there next to each other. You just design your main 1920 by 1080 scene for YouTube, just like you normally would. Then you just click to activate the vertical canvas. Now, the amazing part is that you can use the same sources, your game, your camera, on both, but position them totally independently. So you could have a small camera in the corner for your mainstream, but a big, full-screen camera for your vertical feed. It's just incredibly flexible. Next up, you need to tell Meld where to send your streams. So you'll just go into your YouTube and TikTok live dashboards and grab your server URL and your stream key. Honestly, think of these like the address and the key to your own personal broadcast. Then you pop back into Meld settings, add each platform as a destination, and just paste in that info. And boom, just like that, you're connected. Now let's get to the step that truly separates a good stream from a great one, dialing in your encoder settings. This is the stuff that guarantees your broadcast is going to be crystal clear and stable for every single person watching.
These are the settings you really want to get right. First, make sure your encoder is set to NVIDIA NVENC. That's that awesome hardware encoding we talked about earlier. For rate control, choose CBR, that's constant bit rate, which basically just gives you a super stable data flow. For your main horizontal stream, you want to aim for 6,000 kilobit bits. For your vertical stream, anywhere between 4,000 and 6,000 is perfect. And finally, set your keyframe interval to 2 seconds. That's pretty much the standard for most platforms out there. All right, so technically, you could hit go live right now. But hold on. Let's talk about the most crucial part of any stream, your community. I mean, how do you manage conversations that are happening on different platforms at the exact same time? It can feel overwhelming, but there's a really simple solution.
Just picture it for a second. You're live on both YouTube and TikTok. How are you possibly supposed to keep up with both chats? Trying to toggle between windows or look at different monitors, it's a surefire way to miss messages and just feel totally disconnected from half your audience. And the solution to this is it's beautifully simple. It's called Unified Chat. This feature connects to all your platforms and pulls every single comment. Doesn't matter if it's from YouTube or TikTok, into one single combined feed. You see everything all in one place as it happens.
And this right here is the final piece of the puzzle. Meld Studio has this feature built right in, so you don't need any extra tools or browser windows open. As soon as your accounts are linked, the chat is automatically unified. It just works. And that lets you focus on the conversation, not on the tech.
And that's it. Seriously, you've got the hardware specs, the all-in-one software, the right settings dialed in, and a way to bring your whole community together. You are now officially ready to hit go live and share your content with everyone on every single screen.
So let me just leave you with this one thought. For years, streaming to multiple platforms at once was this huge technical mountain to climb. But now, it's a solved problem. The tools are here, they're easy to use, and they're incredibly powerful. So the only real question left is, what will you create with them?